So July 25th, 2024. Yeah, another LLC. I guess we could consider it the fourth phase of this startup is Flying Pig Labs LLC. And what does Flying Pig do? Research. And with research, we acquire knowledge. Knowledge is power, and we can sell that if we want to. So we can mint NFTs that are reports that people are going to want to buy. You can go $7, $35, maybe $55, but 99, $100, or 150, 120. Those are all good price points. But easily, the value of our knowledge could make sales at like $500, $2,000. Depends what it is, because we'll make reports on, like, say, cybersecurity. So every 3 months or something, or maybe even monthly, we put out a cybersecurity report, chock full of knowledge about cybersecurity. People are going to want that. Let's say five. Let's not be greedy. Let's say $500. So professionals that are really into cybersecurity are potential customers and very likely customers. And with trust and authority, uh, we could call it a fan base. Uh, Fan base, as I've been thinking of it, I think we should consider being repeat customers. Right? We put out uh, collections, and I have at least 2 dozen collections in mind. I put in my notes. One interesting business model that we could do is the NFT enables you to get like legacy or immemorialism, persistent something. What led me to this was thinking, my chosen epitaph is IDK period space LOL exclamation point. And I described to friends how I'd like my ashes taken to a particular place and Rainy Pass, and spread off of this cliff over the forest. That's what I want for my death thing. But who's gonna do it? Well, I had my friend Mike Prime to take that responsibility in agreement, and thing is, he passed away last fall. So, so where we're going with this is we could set up so that we have a system where we can custom mint NFTs for people or whatever, and like that would be my memorandum. My epitaph would be in each object, and you could mint like 1,000 of them or something, and now you've got immortality. What kind of value proposition do you think immortality presents? Oh, and I have some ideas about that too that I won't share right now. I think ours is going to be the last generation that has to be mortal, and it has to do with the future is cyborg and stuff. But enough about that right now. Uh, So that's huge. And we want to do that because we want to bring in knowledge for our company, for ourselves, for our knowledge system. Uh, which, by the way, is quite challenging in the sense that I'm an expert at SQL and database administration and analysis and whatever data stuff, you know. That for me, data is so 20th century. Sorry, but it's true. Um, but where I'm going with this is with the cloud, with Cloud 3, the way I would assume I would develop a system to be a data server on Web3 could be done that way, but it doesn't have to be. And so there's this whole new thing that's doing away, they're trying to do away with SQL. And they say stuff about that now it's done by content. Rather than data, you do it by content. And I'm not exactly sure what they mean. And that's what happens. You run into new terms or you come up with new terms. Then you got to ask, well, okay, what does that mean? So, um, so I've been working with that some, not a lot. Again, I can leave that to others if they'll just learn and do the work. But when you program on Web3, you're talking about little computing machines that uh, integrate and work together such that the job gets done. What I'm saying is typically you have like a SQL server that's a centralized server, and then anything that needs that data is basically a client. You know, sends it a SQL query, gets a data packet back, maybe JSON using a JavaScript, and that's how it's done. But it doesn't have to be, and I don't think it's gonna be, and they're trying to move away from that because if Web3 is about anything, it's about decentralized. Anytime you find yourself centralizing, it's a big red flag, and you should stop as a systems developer. You should stop and say, "Now wait a second here. We're just falling into the old tricks, which isn't what we want to be doing anymore." Yeah, I'm being a little careless with my music listening while I'm recording. Typically, I avoid it mainly for copyright issues, but damn it, I'm just listening to the stuff. Okay, I'm not trying to sell it. I get claim fan immunity or something. So what were we talking about? Um, see, the beauty of this channel, you can say, I don't know, I'm overwhelmed. Go away and have some fun and enjoyment, and come back later and say, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. So, so yeah, we want to establish Flying Pig Labs LLC, and that's what they do. They're researchers and developers, proof of concept people. Um, so directly, they're not likely to release much of anything, except for it'll all go into the knowledge system. That's right. I was talking about how do we implement like a database server on. I haven't been doing much work on that lately, though. But at some point, we need to go from the idea of a smart contract to more like a smart agent. What's an agent? An agent gives you the power to do something. Um, So, in doing the smart agents and dealing with my concepts for what people might call AI, not me, but uh, I've got to revisit where's the intelligence, because I had an awful lot designed out, but I've come to realize that's Web 2.0 background. And now there's all this new innovative technology that actually should be called Web 3 or cloud computing, so the real cloud computing. That is, the computing is done in a cloud, which is a network of nodes, and likely a dozen or so or more protocols. We'll have an initial protocol like Avalanche that we mint the NFTs on, but our DApps will probably utilize dozens of protocols to get whatever its job is done, its use case. Systems development starts with use case. Because you're trying to develop a system to do something. And you just don't, well, unless you're a programmer, not a developer, that's just having fun programming bells and whistles for no real thought out purpose. Um, yeah, that's not a developer. A programmer is not a developer. Often a developer is a programmer, um, but they're not developers. They're just mechanics, really. In the sense that you give them the algorithm, you give them the use case, and it's their job to code it up, like in Solidity in the case of Web3. And yeah, it's not a huge thing. Programming for me isn't a huge thing. That's why I'm offering internships and stuff for people that want to do Web3 development, because I might be wrong that not any just anybody could program, but yeah, it's something that can be learned and very rapidly. In fact, I think something like DApp University, which I'm willing to sponsor and send people to, so to speak, uh, they're saying like 3 months, 4 months, or whatever, and they'll have you in a high-paying job doing it. So we shouldn't be intimidated with, like, yeah, the headhunters. So like, well, we want somebody that's done it for at least 2 years, and we prefer 5 years experience. Well, the problem is, and it happened with Java, um, the headhunters don't know what the heck they're talking about. When I was doing Microsoft stuff, they don't know what the heck they're talking about. They're always asking for the wrong things because they don't have a big enough picture. Um, But yeah, something like Java, when it came in and the demand got really large, the supply wasn't there. Nobody had 2 years experience and five, much less 5 years experience. You know why? Java was too new. It didn't exist 5 years previously. So anyhow, that's a big flaw with how headhunters think. And no, I'd rather train.